Hey everyone, it's Hiro. This is the final part of the Medaka event video series, which I split into 3 parts. If you haven't seen the previous videos yet, make sure to check them out too. I hope this gives you a little taste of what the Japanese Medaka event is like. And if you ever come to Japan, I really recommend visiting one yourself. Personally, I believe that Japanese bred Medaka are going to become a huge trend all around the world. So stick with my channel to catch all the latest info about Medaka. On this channel, I, Hiro, a Japanese aquarist, share all kinds of information about Medaka and other fascinating fish from Japan. If you're interested in Japanese aquariums, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright then, let's dive right in. At Medaka series booth, the selection was very carefully chosen. The one that caught my eyes was this strain. In the competition video I uploaded earlier, you may have noticed that many entries looked similar to this type. Shiny, sparkling bodies were fluffy long fins. It might seem like many of them look alike, but in reality, each has subtle differences in length and how the fins spread out. Medaka competitions are still fairly new, and I think in the future the judging criteria will become much clearer. But no matter what, the key is always to get good parent fish. Events like this are the perfect place to find them. If you haven't watched my competitions video yet, please check it out. Then I visited Kazu Medaka. Their signature strain is called Lamune Blue. It's known for its deep, rich coloration and has a strong fan base in Japan. The fish I saw here wasn't for sale yet, but they had a bluish body with scattered black pigment and fluffy fins. Really nice. Even the fins shimmered with iridescence. All of his Medaka are based on Lamune Blue line. The Medaka color is a deep blue with variations that add glitter, eye trait, and more. Having one strong base line like this allows breeders to create many different offshoots. Next was Shuko Medaka. He has been in the hobby for a very long time, and his carefully selected strains were being sold at very affordable prices. This one is called Reiwa Kurogoromo. I think this might be the first time I've introduced it on the channel. It's a pretty rare hybrid strain. Reiwa is the name of Japan's current era, but in Medaka it refers to a gene that turns fins red. Kurogoromo refers to fish with dark, brackish bellies. If you look carefully, you can see how this fish suddenly darkens around the stomach area. These are still young, and it might even be a prototype course in progress. The fins aren't very red yet, but you can see a slight shift of body color in the male's dorsal fin. It's clearly still developed as a strain, but it's fascinating to see such unique, experimental Medaka being sold here. Something you wouldn't find in a normal shop. Next up was Jonet's Roman Medaka. The name translates to passion and romance, which I think is such a beautiful name. Here I found the Daruma Orochi. With its round shadow body and the way it seems so earnestly, it's really adorable. In Japan, Daruma Medaka are especially popular among women. It's almost like a miniature black Mori. They also had Akebo no Daruma, one of the classic tricolor strains. It's tough to get a proper tricolor pattern on such a short body, but these fish already show nice patches of red, white, and black. Another interesting one was a Medaka called To, which combines silver and goldfish in a set. Their thighs also had glitter, and the eyes weren't normal. They looked like earth eye type, though it's hard to see clearly in the video. I can't help but wonder, what would happen if you bred the gold and silver together? Pretty exciting to think about. Then I stopped by Kaichan Medaka's booth. She seems to really love Hikari type, since most of her strains were Hikari Medaka. Among all the flashy strains that have become trendy lately, the one that caught my eye was Gold Black Hikari Medaka. This is actually a very old variety, one of the fundamental strains used in many Medaka breeding projects. The body color ranges from the pale gray to golden, with a subtle, dark shine along the back. It's not flashy at all, but breeders who preserve and bred these older strains are truly invaluable. For anyone who breeds their own Medaka, having these older varieties is very important. Personally, I was happy to see it again after such a long time. Next, I visited a booth run Arata Medaka and Umeui Medaka. They've been focusing on specific strains for many years. One of Arata's signature strain is the Yokihi transparent scale longfin. The Yokihi transparent line is also an old variety, but he has kept the strain pure and continues to produce beautiful fish. A feature of transparent scale Medaka is that part of the fins can also turn red. His fish have the Matsui longfin trait, with fins that stretch beautifully and tails that spread wide. Then I saw a strain called Neru, a tricolor longfin Medaka type. Unfortunately, because they were in bottles, the tricolor patterns weren't easy to see, but you can tell they had very solid body shapes. Do you see how the back looks strong and straight? Finding fish with a really nice body shape is harder than it seems, and poor shape tend to pass down strongly to the offspring, just like with goldfish and guppies. So if you can secure good parents like these, it really improves the chances of producing healthy offspring. Another was yellow tree-color Kazu Medaka. There are many different tree-color expressions, but Medaka don't actually carry red pigment. Instead, yellow pigment is what creates the appearance of red. Some strains look closer to red, while others lean toward lighter yellow. This one was specifically bred to highlight yellow, which is why it's called yellow sanshoku. On the second day, I came back to film again. There are so many people right from the morning that it was actually hard to shoot. Seeing such crowds really makes me feel the strength of the Medaka boom. Next was Shinisan Medaka. They mainly had the newest strains for sale. One that caught my eye was Yohen Tenmok Earth Eye Medaka. Yohen Tenmok is a name of the grace coral used in Japanese pottery, if I remember correctly. This strain has a black body, long fins, and bluish hooves. And again, we see the Earth Eye trait. The eyes look different from normal Medaka. The fins weren't very long yet, but if raised properly, they'll grow out more. Actually, there is a trick to developing long fins. It's said to depend on water temperature. If you keep them at higher temperatures, the fins grow fluffier. Of course, Medaka can be kept without heaters, but using one to extend their fins. That's a fun little secret, isn't it? Next was Medakaya Co. I found a very unusual strain here. Maybe too niche for some, but fascinating. At first glance, it looks similar to the fluffy fin strand as shown earlier, but the fins were huge. What's surprising is that these didn't have the real long fin gene, yet the fins were still massive. Even the females had oversized fins, which normally doesn't happen. For those who understand the genetics, this is incredible. For beginners, the differences might be hard to notice. But even without knowing the details, you can see right away that this Medaka is stunning. They also had a strain called Tsubaki no Mai Kanzashi. It's a swallow-type Hikari Medaka with a tricolor pattern. Everything about it, the body shape, the flowing fins, were just beautiful. Another strain was Hosenomi, a black rim type. The black rim scales show up clearly, reflecting the breeder's careful work. While I was filming, people kept buying them. Black rim has really become a solid category in its own right, with a lot of fans in Japan. Finally, the last booth, Medakaya Koten. This was my second time meeting him, and as always, he was selling carefully bred fish at very reasonable prices. One strain I really wanted to see was Deep White Medaka. In fact, this is currently the Medaka I wanted the most. At first glance, you might think, isn't that just another white-spotted strain? But Deep White was released last year by Jonet, one of my absolute favorite breeders. Compared to past white strains, this one has much denser, stronger pigmentation. The process behind its creation is also quite unique. I'll talk more about that in another video. But I believe this strain can open up a lot of new direction in breeding. Another one was Harugiku, a Hikari type longfin. There are so many names to keep track of, but what's important is not buying based on the name alone. Always check the actual quality of the fish. And in that regard, you can clearly see the high quality of his Medaka. So, how did you like the video? This wraps up the Medaka event series I've been sharing in 3 parts. Honestly, adding English narration to such a long video was quite a challenge. If you have a favorite Medaka, let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions about the video, feel free to ask that too. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Your comments and likes really encourage me to keep creating more content. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching until the end. I'll try to share more event footage again whenever I get the chance. See you in the next video.